Okay, well, my name is Giselle Aguiar. My company is AZ Social Media Wiz, which I started 11 years ago. But I've been doing internet marketing since 1995. And ever since the pandemic, there's been a digital transformation and a lot of new features were added to platforms and some were removed. One overall truth is that it's constantly changing. Today, I'll cover what still holds true, some statistics too, and some of the new features, both on Google and on the social media networks and major networks, and my forecast for 2023. So let's dig in. So here's some interesting internet usage statistics. And since I have a global audience, we're using global statistics. So in the last 22 years, internet usage increased by 1,355%. That's since the year 2000. Most popular web browser is Chrome with over 65% of global internet users. And if you don't know the fact that Google owns Chrome, so basically everything that's Google, which is YouTube and Google Analytics and Google, I mean, anything Google works better in the Chrome browser. And Google has 92% of all global search, and we'll talk about that more in depth in a little bit. So here's some more statistics here. So total internet users, and this is as of October 2022, were 5 billion total internet users. Over 63% internet users as a percentage of the total population. Year-on-year change in the number of internet users. So we've gained usage. This is probably going to have to blame pandemic on this actually, because 2020 we stopped meeting face to face and going out to do stuff. We have to do everything online. So people that never wanted or needed to use the internet had to start using the internet. So that really makes sense. Average daily time spent using the internet by each user over 6.5 hours. Okay. Yeah, I spent, because I work on the internet, I spend about, I say closer to 8 hours a day. Percentage of users accessing the internet via mobile phones, 92%. And I have another interesting statistic coming up too with regard to mobile usage. Now, this one might be hard to read. Again, you'll be getting the PDF of these slides so you can see them. So these are the, this was a survey by Hootsuite. The main reasons for using the internet. Number one, finding information, which was 58%. Okay, then staying in touch with friends and family, which that's really what Facebook started out to be. Keeping up to date with news and events, okay? Watching videos, TV shows, and or movies, researching how to do things. I mean, YouTube, the most popular search phrase is how to. Accessing and listening to music, Spotify, everything's on, that's part of the internet. Any of the apps you use on your phone, you're using the internet. I like this one. Filling up spare time and general browsing. You're bored, what do? You get on the internet, Education and study related purposes. Okay, yeah, then we have a couple of students in watching today, and so it's like, yeah, that's it. Researching places and vacations and travel. So that's still big, even though the travel industry took a big hit with the pandemic. It's coming back to life again. And so people are looking for deals. They're researching where, what countries and stuff are open, so they're using the internet for that. And then researching health issues and healthcare products. So that, and that's really important. I'm working with a client now that is in the health and wellness industry. And so and people will search for their, solutions for whatever symptoms they have or literal pain points. And managing finances and savings. Okay, so financial tips, that's still good. And gaming, that's big. Meeting new people, business related research, organizing day-to-day life, sharing your opinion, and business related networking. And so now we've got the world's most used social platforms. Okay, and of course, number one is Facebook. Okay, so close to 3 billion. Okay, this is, yeah, so this is in millions. So close to 3 billion people access Facebook daily. These are active users. Okay, then comes YouTube. Okay, so in fact, next week, next Thursday at 11 Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a YouTube video. So, and I'm going to be doing a tour of YouTube, and because YouTube is works solely by its algorithm. So how do you take advantage of that algorithm? So I'm going to show you how to optimize your YouTube channel. Then WhatsApp, Instagram, WeChat, TikTok, Facebook Messenger, Telegram. I don't know what these others are. Snapchat's down there. Pinterest and Twitter are towards the bottom. But I have some interesting Twitter statistics coming up, and Pinterest too. So hopefully next year when I pull these statistics, that'll be changing, but that gives you an idea. So no matter what you think about Facebook, that's still where the people are. All right, so one of the purposes of marketing on social media is to drive traffic to your website. So your website is like, it's not just your online brochure, but it's where you generate leads, you sell stuff if you're e-commerce. So the idea is to use social media to drive, to attract people to your website, where there you can convert them, you convert visitors into leads. Okay, just letting somebody in. So now what's interesting here is some of them have gone down and some of them have gone up. Okay, so if you notice, still Facebook is the biggest one, 71%, over 71% driving traffic, but it's gone down. Twitter, on the other hand, has gone up. Okay, and we're gonna you'll see why in a little bit. So this is year-over-year increase. So Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. Okay, Reddit is an interesting platform. When it first came out, when I first know back in the 90s, it was like the old-fashioned chat boards, and it was hard because you got into groups and you were limited to what you can put in there, and it was really, I personally did not see any benefit in being on Reddit, but your target market audience might be there. We don't know. That takes you find that information when you do your research. We'll talk about that. But you can't ignore Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube, because they're powerful in other ways besides traffic referrals. For instance, Pinterest helps with SEO. YouTube, because it's owned by Google, it is the second largest search engine. So you have to do your target market research, and it's something you should do at least twice a year, more often if you find that markets are changing. Okay, so that's something else we're going to talk about. Which that's the thing. Who's your target? So before you start doing anything, you have to clearly define your target market niche, and you can have more than one target audience. Okay, are you business to business or B2B? So here your main targets are other businesses, but you still have to deal with people in the business. B2C, or business to consumer, your main customer is the average consumer who would buy your products or hire your services. And so you need to create personas for these people, like describe your perfect customer, and you can have more than one persona, but this is where you have to do your research. So what are their interests, desires, wants, and needs? What are their pain points? And a company can have both B2B and B2C targets. So you want to consider what percentage is business and consumer, so you can split your marketing efforts accordingly. And you will need to do 2 marketing plans, one for B2B and one for B2C, different targets, different strategies, different messages, different tactics. Also consider what part of your business you want to boost. Okay, if you skip this crucial step, you will be wasting a lot of time, effort, and money trying to reach everyone and reaching no one. Okay, next, who are you up against? What are your competitors doing online? Where do they come up organically or non-paid in Google search compared to you for major keywords and phrases? Who are in the 9th or 10th spots? How many followers do they have? Are they active in social media? How often are they blogging? Are they writing on their website and posting on social media? Are they doing videos? Whatever they are doing, you have to do more of it and better. Yeah, and I have an article on my website on competition. I'll make sure the link is in the PDF. So I'm sure you'll all agree we're living in a very volatile market, and you need to keep up with the news as it applies to your industry. Global market conditions. So, I got a window in the way here. Okay. Supply and demand, big with the supply chain issues. Okay, it's like good news I heard this morning that if you're in the US, the railroad strike has been postponed thanks to Congress. Okay, so you know, and basically you can't have a major shipping part of the supply and demand chain here, you know, in retail and wholesale and manufacturing to go down right in the holiday season. So but it's constantly changing. Economic outlooks. Okay, some are brighter, some are not so bright. Statistics, analytics, and insights. Digital marketing, again, it's constantly changing. Okay. So just to review, once you've done your research and know who you're trying to reach, so this is how everything works together. It's called the recipe for success. So it starts with content. It's the fresh material that Google is looking for, written for your target market, your target audience, with the search engine in mind. I'll get into that. I'll get into that in a little specific. You want to become a content magnet. So how do you do that? You promote that content and engage with your potential customers on social media. And that's the formula. Content plus social media equals search engine optimization, SEO, or traffic to your website. Now, given that, you must have a website that's set up to capture leads, okay, or whatever it is you want them to do. If you want them to buy something, it's got to be clear. You have to have a specific strategy, and we'll talk about the user interfaces and stuff like that in a little bit. But you want to convert that visitor from a visitor to a lead or a sale by offering a free download, an ebook, yes, more content, a webinar or video or a coupon with a special offer. You want to capture their name and email address. Ask them 2 or 3 qualifying questions to be able to segment your email list. And a couple of days after the download, you're going to send them an email with a video. If they watch the video, then they get another email. If they don't watch the video in 3 days, they get a different email. The idea is to then nurture the lead into a sale with content. And that is marketing automation. So you've got to figure it out. Okay, decide what you're good at and what type of content you're capable of creating. So familiarize yourself with the different channels available, the different social media networks, Google, video marketing. I mean, there's so many choices for your marketing these days, and figure out which social networks are best to reach your target market niche. Determine which forms of content, whether it's blogging, video, animations, podcasts, graphics. What are you going to produce that will be of interest to your target audience? What are you able to produce? What can you produce? Okay, because sometimes if something is hard for you to do, you're going to stop doing it. You know, so you have to, this is something you need to think about. So like for me, I have another side gig, I guess you can call it. I'm trying to do videos. Videos are harder. Podcasting is way easier for me, you know, so as well as blogging. I'm a good writer. That's my thing, you know, so that's the problem. If you find something difficult to do, you're not going to do it, you know, so you might have to hire somebody, and we'll talk about that too. You got to think about the buyer's journey. Okay, so this is the, I guess, you know, marketing 101, and the acronym ADA. So awareness. So let people know that you have a potential solution to their problem or what they're looking for. Okay. If, it might not be a problem. It might be, that they need or want something, that is the awareness stage. Then the interest. So ensure that potential customers can access information about your company when they show interest, your product or service. So that would be blogs or videos or joining a newsletter. Not everybody's ready to buy right away. Then decisions. So sell your product or service as the only solution to their problems, or as being scarce. Okay, there's the fear of missing out. You have the fear of missing out. Okay, so last chance stuff. There's only so many left. That kind of thing when you're doing a product. Early bird pricing will end on this date. You get free shipping if you buy by this date. You get this discount, but it's only good till this date, or only 10 seats left, or something like that. So then you've got that fear of missing out. And then the other thing to sell is the benefits. Okay, because they're thinking, what's in it for me? How are you going to help me? How are you going to make my life better? And then obviously the last thing is the action. So the customer decides to buy your product or hire your services. Okay, so let's go into some of the different marketing things here. So video. So not all videos need to be professionally done. However, I do recommend getting at least 3 types of videos done professionally. These are kind of like your commercials. So one is a website explainer video. So this would be explaining what it is that you do. That makes it simple in less than 2 minutes, explaining what you're all about. And this should be on your homepage on your website. Then you also have a YouTube channel trailer. So this basically is an introduction or a little commercial for your YouTube channel. Why should I subscribe to your channel? Because you're going to be providing this type of information or this type of entertainment, whatever it is. And then a landing page sales video. So a landing page has one offer there, whatever it is. If you're selling a product, it could be, the product's page in your e-commerce site. It could be if you're offering a free download or a free webinar or something. That's the only offer there. But having a video on there really helps. Okay, and then create videos as often as you like. So do short, casual how-to videos on your smartphone. And these can be reels, shorts, stories. Okay, again, I have my YouTube video is next week, but I did an Instagram one a few weeks ago. That one's on my YouTube channel, and you can take a look because we cover video marketing specifically for Instagram there. So those are going to be your more vertical videos, where YouTube goes for horizontal, but now they're also doing vertical too, vertical shorts. Do a voiceover recordings of PowerPoint presentations. So this goes to more if you're doing, like you're in the finance business and you want to show statistics. If you're in the B2B business like me, so I think this is like the greatest way for me to do doing these webinars, because I record them and they land on my YouTube channel, and then I just let their algorithm do the trick. Determine which format works best for you. So you want to think of the ease of creation and editing, your abilities, your audience, and videos convert. Okay, and this is a quote from Convince and Convert. In fact, when video is prominently featured on a landing page, conversion rates can go up by a whopping 80%. Okay, statistics don't lie. All right, so here's some short video tips. So state your benefits in the first 15 seconds. So tell a story. Clear, concise, compelling, and customer-centric. Nostalgia and comfort. Tap into emotion. User-generated content. So this is when a happy camper customer takes a picture of them in the new outfit that they just purchased, or if they're at your brick and mortar location, whether it be a restaurant or a store, and they're taking pictures there. And you're going to see in this video, this is user-generated content. Or they just received your package and they're taking a picture of themselves or a video pulling things out of the box. And then testimonials is another one. So encourage happy camper customers to give you a testimonial, like a review. And then always put a call to action at the end. Okay, what do you want them to do? Okay, so this particular video is from Simply Smashing. It's a rage room in here in Tempe, Arizona. And it's where people go to break stuff so that they release their tension, release their anger. And this was one of the earlier Instagram videos. And this was basically user-generated content. So what my client did was offer to take a video of the people breaking stuff on their phones so that they then uploaded it to their accounts. And so all of their friends saw it. So believe it or not, they were getting more, more traffic from Instagram, and they weren't even purposefully doing campaigns on Instagram. And as soon as we started then going, doing the campaigns on Instagram, so now they do the videos with voiceover and with text and with those calls to action at the end, like book your room now. Okay, I mentioned podcasting. Okay, so while videos are the preferred mode of content marketing, podcasting comes in at a close second. A HubSpot survey of marketers showed that over 19% of marketers are using podcasts. Of those who do, over 37% found it to be most effective. 43% of marketers plan to use this type of content. So like I said, podcasts are easier to produce than a video, and podcasting is also a popular way to reach your audience. Personally, I prefer them to videos. You don't have to worry about lighting, if your hair looks good or what you're wearing. You also don't need fancy, expensive equipment. Okay, so I do my podcasts, I do them with my AirPods. Okay, so I think these are the best thing. So you see people with the fancy microphones and the lighting and all that stuff. Well, you always want the lighting on you. And so I set myself up, with the windows technically behind the computer, so, and that helps. And then I got ceiling lighting if I have to record at night. But, but Zoom has made it so easy to do stuff, to record. And, so I'm using my computer laptop camera. So, yeah, so it works. And I write a blog article first, and that serves as my script, and it sounds more professional that way. Now, depending on what type of podcast you want to do, if you're going to be doing interviews, then you might have a script for an introduction, but then you just let it flow as a conversation goes. And I have an article on my website on podcasting to help you get started. And so Google, and like I mentioned before, they have over 92% of all global search. So these are statistics for October 2022. And there are over 106,000 Google searches made every second. Yeah. Okay. So Google is people first, not keyword first. So it's all about the customer experience, the searcher's experience. And Google still looks for the freshest, most relevant content that matches the search. And so this is why it's important for you to do. You have to do keyword search. So discover other phrases with high search volume. And you really should do this before you start doing an article or even doing a YouTube video, for what's your title going to be? Okay, so what are they searching for? So you want that the title of your article or your video to have the keywords that people are searching for, or the question that people are searching for. And the keyword research also gives you a list of suggested keywords, and you can use those keywords as blog or video topics. So and this is something you should do on a regular basis, if not monthly, because as things change in the world, the things that people are searching for will change. So that's one of the things. And one of the Alfonso from Puerto Rico, I mean, who would have thought that cryptocurrency would be like a major search term now, 10 years ago? Like, no, I mean, but, before it was like, what is this? I don't know what this is, but now it's a big thing, and if you're gonna involve yourself with that, you need to research it. Okay, so let's talk about mobile search. So Google's changing. Google changes all the time. So, okay, so as soon as you open the iOS app, you're going to see shortcuts at the top. Okay, iOS is Apple, which is probably going to be in I wonder why they don't have why this information didn't have it for Android. Okay. Oh, anyway, that's just a thought just coming to mind. Okay, but anyway, what you're going to see in the mobile app is tappable shortcuts at the top. And when you start typing, it will begin populating results before you submit the query. So it tries to think ahead of you. This is the AI, the artificial intelligence, that tries to think what you're typing. And also now it's going to help you refine your queries to get more precise results. Web stories, okay? Web stories are short vertical videos that Google gathers from the web and social media that match the searcher's query. So in other words, the video ideas that we just talked about will come up in Google search. So that means it's important to optimize your social media video posts with relevant keywords and hashtags so Google will pick them up. And don't just post the video without putting text in the post. In Instagram, it's the captions, and you've got like 2,000 characters in the caption and up to 30 hashtags. So why are you so many hashtags? It's like, because that's how you come up in Google, because of the hashtags. Okay, that's really, really important. In fact, I'm doing a hashtag webinar in 2 weeks. I'm going deep with hashtags and how they work in each of the different platforms. They work differently. And Google will display website links, images, and video tabs all on the front page. And then there's also going to be an endless discovery feed. Okay, so it's going to just keep going and keep going and keep going. You can go on forever, looking for if you can't find what you have. So that's why when you're looking at your competition, you want to see who's in the 9th or the 10th spot, and then see if you can bump them down and bring yourself up doing content. So here's a little quote from Google. We're also reimagining the way we display results to better reflect the ways people explore topics. You'll see the most relevant content from a variety of sources, no matter what format the information comes in, whether it's text, images, or video. Okay, and so for Google, it's the user experience that comes first. And this is really important. And many people think, oh, I just have my website and it's been good. And probably if you haven't thought about your website in the last 5 years or so, your website's probably worthless right now, because it's all about the user experience or the UX. It has to be mobile friendly and responsive. So everything has to work on a mobile device first. Over 90% of the global internet population uses a mobile device to go online. In fact, this past Black Friday, which was last Friday, 48% of all purchases were e-commerce and done on a mobile device. Google looks for the mobile version of your website first, so make sure it works well on all mobile browsers. No immediate pop-ups, intrusive pop-ups that come up immediately. Okay, I hate that. I mean, I read my news on my tablet and I'll go to a page and I want to read the article, but then, I mean, 2 paragraphs down and up pops a pop-up, an ad, an advertisement for whatever, I'm interested in reading the article. I really don't care what they're selling. I just want the information that's in that article, so for me, the best place to put it is at the end when somebody scroll down to the bottom, or if they're going to leave, then it pops up, wait, don't leave yet. Check this out. Okay. That's okay. But actually having those pop-ups as soon as somebody lands is going to hurt you. Now, a way to get around this is to have your call to action just like as an ad in the top of you know, your website so that people will see whatever that ad is, as you know, and before they start scrolling down. Okay, and not the intrusive pop-up. Okay, so another thing that's important is being useful information. When people are looking for stuff, they're looking for an answer to their question. They're looking to alleviate a literal pain point or a problem, to solve a problem. You want to provide that useful content. And for security, okay, every website should have the SSL security certificate, and this is at the hosting level. So in the web address, in the URL, so it'll say HTTPS. Okay, most web hosting services include this. So if you have an older website, make sure you check this. Otherwise, a visitor will see unsecure at the top there and will instantly leave. And this is, again, very important if you're e-commerce. If you're on an e-commerce site like Shopify or Etsy, this is included in there. They're automatically that have the HTTPS. But if you're hosting your own website, you need to make sure that this is set up and it's working properly. Then we've got what Google came up with last year, and it's the Core Web Vitals. These are still really important. And it's all for mobile. So it's first is what's called the largest contentful page. So basically, this is how fast a page main content is loaded. Then the first input delay, how fast users are able to interact with the page after landing on it. And third, cumulative layout shift. That's text moving up or down because of graphics, widgets, or ads. Okay, so you want to make sure that I had a client with a testimonial ad, and the text above it and below it would move because how long the testimonial was. So now the testimonial ads are more formatted, and so the testimonial plugins and things like that, they're more formatted. So it doesn't matter how long it is, it won't affect this moving the text up or down. And you can test your website. Okay, this link is going to be it's going to be live when you get your PDF. So test your website, just put your URL in there. It will tell you where you're failing. Okay, so if your website scores less than 75, you need to fix it. I tested a guy's site and he got like a 13. That's the lowest I've ever seen. You can usually, if a site hasn't been taking care of this stuff, usually in the 30s, which is still failing, but a 13, I've never seen that before. I was okay, yeah, this site totally needs to be redone. If you're in a highly competitive industry, which is, basically, let's see, real estate, financing, financial, health and wellness, those highly, hospitality, travel, highly competitive industries, then you need to have a score of 85 or higher. So 85 or higher. Otherwise, your SEO will suffer. Okay, your rankings will suffer on Google. Sometimes it'll be just as easy and simple as reducing the sizes of your graphics and maybe eliminating a few. If you're on like WordPress, you maybe have some extra plugins that you're not really using. You can eliminate those and it will speed up your website. Other things may be more technical. The older your website is and you haven't been updating it, the more things will have to be fixed. And some sites may have to be totally rebuilt. So it all depends. Again, you can test your site. So, and if you want to schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation with me, and I'll test your site also and help you figure out what needs to be fixed. Okay, local search. So if you have a brick and mortar location where you want people to actually go there, now that the pandemic's almost over, depending on who you talk to. Okay, but you still want delivery, if you want delivery, so you want near you. Okay, so I did, so you can search for restaurants now by dish. For instance, I did this search for pad thai near me. And so it pops up, and so I can even, and you can see the little buttons in the top of the map. Okay, those are the ones, so whichever one you want. So if I take out delivery and within a mile, okay, so within a mile I can walk there. So that's what's cool about this. So you can also, where did I go? There it goes. Discover restaurant specialties. Okay. Support for digital menus. Again, this is for restaurants. And so you're going to also have a better Google Maps live view. So if you click on Google Maps, then and you switch to the live view, which actually shows the street and so forth, so you can see what's around there. Okay, so that's going to be improved. Aerial views of famous landmarks. Okay. That's new for the travel industry. And then the immersive view. This is rolling out for certain cities. And lastly, neighborhood vibe checks. Now, this is, again, rolling out, which means that not everyone sees it at the same time. So a new neighborhood vibe, cities will be featured in Google Maps, which give you a feel for the neighborhood before you visit. Now, I live in downtown Phoenix, and there's a lot of stuff going on here, but Phoenix is not one of the first ones they've done. Like New York City, the bigger cities are getting them. And this is great for the travel industry. So you can use these to help your travelers for information. So it's helpful photos and information on Google Maps. Community will appear on the map while browsing the neighborhood. Google says it uses a combination of AI, artificial intelligence, and user-submitted information to power the neighborhood vibe feature. Now it's starting to roll out globally on the Google app in the coming months on Android and iOS. So that gives you time, if you're local business, local brick and mortar, to enhance and optimize your listing, encourage user-generated content and reviews. Now, speaking of listings, that is in the Google Business Profile. Okay, used to be Google My Business. Okay, so if you're again a local brick and mortar, and you depend on people coming to your office, your store, your restaurant, your hotel, so that people will search for things like accountant near me. I'm working with the health and wellness, acupuncturist near me. Okay, people don't want to drive when they're in pain. Okay, so if you're in health and wellness, you're a doctor, provide medical services, people don't want to drive far. This does not mean that you need to put the words near me in your content. Google bases the search results on the user's GPS and matches it to your listing on Google, your Google Business Profile. Okay, so if you're a local consultant without an office or e-commerce business, you work from home, make sure you tell Google Maps not to show your address on Google Maps. Okay, but you do need to have a Google Business Profile. Like I work with a guy who is using one of the mailbox stores. So it's important to have that address, even though it's not showing, but for Google's sake, it has to be in there. And you have to be verified, that your address has to be verified. You also want to add detailed descriptions of your services and products. Again, you're telling Google what it is that you have to offer. And this is really important. And this is besides your website. This is in the Google Business Profile Manager. Okay? You can post specials and events on there. You can request reviews from your people. My client has a sign on her door as people are leaving, review us in Google. And I also told her to put the link to the Google reviews page in the thank you email that people get with the receipt. Okay, that's important. You gotta make it easy for people to do stuff. Otherwise, they're not going to do it. And then I use the tool Deliverr. It's a way to automate your blog posts, and you can automate them to post to your Google Business Profile. So it's like, otherwise you have to go in and copy paste, create a post, and Deliverr saves a ton of time. And I'm going to be doing a webinar in January about a lot of these third-party tools to help you save time and organize and schedule posts up and things like that. Yeah, so if you need to set up your Google Business profile, you need to go to business.google.com, make sure your listing is accurate, that everything is filled out completely. Take advantage of all the features that they offer, and I can help you with this too. So if you want me to help you with this, you can schedule a free 15-minute Zoom call. I can review your current marketing efforts. I thought this was interesting. Imagine that over 90% of pages get no organic search traffic from Google. Yeah, Ahrefs is one of the SEO third-party tools and services, and I like them because they'll go in and do an SEO audit for your website, free. Tell you what's wrong. You know, someone searching for what it is that you have to offer, they're going to go to Google. Okay. Even if they use DuckDuckGo uses the Google search engine. You know, only like 6% of all people, not even that, use Bing. You know, so you know, worry about Google. Focus on what Google wants, and you're gonna get in there. So what's the problem here? The problem is bad SEO copy. Okay, so what happens when you're not coming up in Google search results page or the SERP? Okay, so you're going to have a low ranking on Google. Okay, another problem is you're getting impressions on the SERP. That means you're coming up, but people are not clicking through to your website. So that's a low click-through rate. And then people visit your site but don't do anything. They're not converting into a lead or a sale. That means you only have the call to action in one place if you have a call to action at all. You know, so if you're writing a blog article and you don't at the end tell them what you want them to do, that basically was a wasted effort. Okay, so I have a service. So Effective SEO Copywriting will get your website high enough on the Google search results page above your competition. That is our goal, to get you above, you know, into the you know, that 7, 6, 8, you know, those slots in the Google search results. And this is SEO copywriting on your website and blog. So on your static pages as well as your blog. Entice the searcher, your potential customer, to click on the listing. And then on your website, you want the visitor to convert from a visitor lead to a sale. So this is what I offer my services. So SEO competitor research. So I'll look to see what your who are your main competitors and what they're doing. Keyword research, on-page optimization. So everything on your website, editing existing copy, creating new page copy. And then social media optimization, because the social media networks each has their own internal search that's just as good as Google, but they're internal searches. And then e-commerce optimization. Each of your products need to be optimized for SEO search. And this is no matter where you are. If you're on your own WordPress site, if you're on Etsy or Shopify, wherever your e-commerce products need to be optimized. So please, there's a link to my page on this service. So if you find that you're not getting your Google Analytics, you're only getting 50 people a month. No, that's not good enough. So you need to increase the visitors to your page. So we could take a look at it, test it, and see what needs to get fixed. Voice search. Okay, now this is something to consider on your website's static pages as well as your blog. So people, you need to answer the questions your target is asking. Okay, people don't talk like they write, whether they're using their smartphone, Amazon's Alexa, Siri, Google Home, or other voice command system. They'll ask a question. So it's up to you to have the answer to the question that your target market is asking. Review the content on your website. So go through your site and read the content on your main pages and major blog articles. Is it compelling enough to attract a visitor and keep their attention? Does it answer their questions? Look at your meta tag descriptions for each of your pages and your main blog articles. is the question you are answering there. You're not going to put the whole answer there. The answer is going to be on your blog or on your page, on your website. But meta tags are important as this is what appears on the SERPs, the search engine result pages. This is what a searcher uses to judge if the content of the site is what they're looking for. And it should include your major keywords, but also offer enough information to entice the searcher to click on the link. If you don't have a meta description, Google will take the first paragraph of a page, and it should be only 1 or 2 sentences or it will get cut off. And also so are they indexed in the right category? Categories are for blog articles, and there's also keyword tags. Are the titles worded in the form of a question? Again, do your research. Keyword research. That's part of a main thing that every business needs to do. Artificial intelligence. Okay, well, you're all experiencing artificial intelligence whenever you log on online. But now, so the machines are trying to do your thinking for you. Sometimes when you're looking for something, you're not sure what to ask. You may enter several search terms in the box before you get the answer you want. Google's AI rank brain will come up with people also asked. With other similar questions that you may be asking yourself. So all in attempts to provide you or the searcher with the best answer to the question. It's machine learning as it applies to search. The AI has the ability to learn and categorize information to accurately match searchers' query. So, for instance, in searching for business plan, below the paid ads was the definition as well as related questions. The top box is called a featured snippet. Now you must be asking, how do I get my answers as a featured snippet? And Google answers this question thusly, okay? Quote, when we recognize when a query asks a question, we programmatically detect pages that answer the user's question and display a top result as a featured snippet in the search results. Now, how do you make sure that your pages or blog articles are formatted in the right way? Well, that's a whole other class. Actually, it's my SEO class, and I've got that video. It's in my YouTube channel. Identify user intent. Okay, so this is important. So you need to really put yourself in your target market shoes. So what does the searcher expect to find when querying or searching for your keywords? Answers to their questions and problems. So what are they asking? Again, that goes back to research. Quality content, unique quality content. And I mean, I saw a statistic on like how many websites there are on the internet. I didn't put it on here because it was mind blowing. And I'm like, okay. What that means is there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of content out there. So how do you stand out? So you have to always think it's quality over quantity. Don't forgo quality in order to get more content out there. So that means no fuzzy graphics. There is no excuse here. You can create high quality graphics with free online, easy to use graphics programs like Canva. Okay. Proofread your blog posts, your pages, even your social media posts before you post. I had one, and Twitter. Oh, Twitter doesn't have an edit button, and it's not going to be for everybody. It's going to be just for people who subscribe to Twitter. So it's coming. I'm going to be talking about Twitter in a little bit. But you have to basically delete the tweet and redo it again. I found a typo, and sometimes you just want to go so fast, and you have to slow down. You have to slow down and read it, because it's part of your images. It's part of your image. So preview your blog post before publishing. Do the graphics look good? I mean, I was on Instagram this morning and I saw a friend's post and the graphic didn't fit in the post. It was big and it was fuzzy and you couldn't even tell what it was saying. And there's no way on Instagram that you can click on the graphic and look at it bigger. And so I'm like, this is bad. I would delete the post. If it looks bad, delete the post. I mean, it's okay, so it's like, it's bad, delete it. Does the eye of the reader make a natural progression down the page to your call to action? And so preview your posts before publishing. And most Americans are exposed to 4,000 to 10,000 advertising messages a day. So this is why you have to be unique and why you have to have quality content. Okay, big question. Do you have the right website? Okay, so WordPress is the most popular content management system. They have over 64% of the CMS market. Very user-friendly. I can teach you not only how to manage your WordPress website as well as blog effectively on it, optimizing for SEO with a free plugin, but also I can guide you to build your own WordPress website in a few days. And so this is specifically for small business owners who find the cost of hiring a professional designer or developer out of reach. For instance, I just had somebody ask me, how much would a website cost for a nonprofit organization? I go, well, it depends on what they want done. And he told me, he says, well, they've got a quote. The first quote was $10,000. Then they knocked it down to like $5,000. Still, I mean, for a nonprofit organization, that's huge. I mean, they basically have to, look at a grant or some, wealthy donor to pay for it, and so I'm trying to be under the 1,000 mark in there, because it's WordPress has become so much easier to build, very user friendly. And so you just need somebody to show you how to do it, and then you just take off on your own and do it and fix it and update it as much as you need to. If you're on Wix, Weebly, GoDaddy, Site Builder, or any other site builders, or on any of the free websites and you've outgrown them, you're not getting traffic to your website, so then a self-hosted WordPress website is your answer. And if you have an old website or even have an old WordPress website and it hasn't been, you haven't been keeping up with the Google Core Web Vitals, and you want to be found, okay, so this will help you too, getting an updated website. So I have a link in the PDF to the details of the service, and you can schedule a free 15-minute call. We could talk about it. All right, now we're going to go to social media news. So Instagram first, okay, so they're going to be coming up with, probably this is rolling out, so not everybody can see this. You can schedule posts and reels up to 75 days in advance in the mobile app. Now, this is for business accounts. So personal accounts are not going to see this. So, and a business page, and I have my Instagram webinar, it's on my YouTube channel. So you can check it out. It has information on how to set up your business page. It connects to your Facebook business account if you have Facebook. You're going to have more content coming up via the artificial intelligence. So they're going to see, like, if you like a panda reel, a panda video, you're going to start seeing a bunch of panda stuff. So and that's, again, your artificial intelligence. More reels, which is the fastest growing content format. Now, so you can then generate GIFs, which are animated graphics from live photos. Now, your updated, iPhone, that when I take a picture, it captures a mini video of what I was taking a picture of. And so so Instagram will now allow you to generate an animation out of that live photo. And there's also live shopping. So if you have an e-commerce store, you can set up a shop on Instagram. LinkedIn, okay, first you have LinkedIn Personal, which is the white pages on LinkedIn. So it's your personal profile. This is your resume. And I have 2 webinars on LinkedIn on my YouTube channel. One is for the personal side and one is for the business pages. So these are going to be new features that are coming up in LinkedIn in both sides. Okay, so on the LinkedIn Personal, there's going to be more data insights for job seekers, you students that are on. Then improved video connection tools and viewing options in the app. Now, this is a mobile app, okay? Not a lot of this stuff might not appear on the website. It's going to appear on the app first. Possible LinkedIn TV, who knows? Bigger focus on audio too. So podcasting on LinkedIn. I don't know what this is going to be like in specific, but there's bigger focus on audio. New messages. And I noticed this on my LinkedIn too. I start seeing a focused inbox. So you won't waste your time looking at spam messages. Yay. Okay. just like you can, classify and have the spam go to your spam folder. So now there's a spam inbox on your LinkedIn messaging. And so you're going to see more relevant messages to the top of people that are actually wanting to do business with you or to connect with you for business. And LinkedIn pages, again, this is the yellow pages side of LinkedIn. So this is the company profile pages. So they're rolling out, I can't see this yet. So templates for posts on company pages. But again, this is in the mobile app. This is not on the main website. So you can also pin comments. So if you do a post on an article, let's say in your industry, and somebody comments on it, and it's a good comment, and it's something, so you can actually pin it to the top of the comments within that post. So that's a new feature that's coming out. And this is just on the company pages side. And then page commitments. Okay, so this is a new section of LinkedIn business pages where your organization can showcase its most important values for job seekers and potential partners. So you're going to have 5 choices: diversity, equity, and inclusion, career growth and learning, work-life balance, social impact, and environmental sustainability. Okay, so this is they're keeping up with the times. Okay, so this is going to be again in the company pages. Twitter. Oh, every day there's news on Twitter these days. Well, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Okay, and the changes are happening as we speak. So he hired a specialist to fix Twitter search. So he's got 3 months, it's a 3-month deal to improve it. So I was going to do a Twitter webinar in January. I pushed it down to February. So I'm going to do the Twitter webinar to explain everything that's going on. This was interesting. I heard this in the podcast with somebody else. Over 2 million new users a day have been joining Twitter this year. That's a 66% increase since 2021. So it's like all of a sudden, oh, it's safe to go back to Twitter. Yes. So this is good. And Twitter helps tremendously with SEO and getting exposure. And there's certain strategies that work on Twitter, and I'll talk about them. I'll mention that. It has to do with the hashtag. So I'll mention this in my hashtag webinar in 2 weeks. Longer tweets. Oh, yes. It is so frustrating to get everything into 280 characters. So, because considering Parler, which is a competitor, they give you 1,000 characters. Instagram gives you 2,200. Getter gives you 777. Okay, so longer tweets, so you can more information. So yay. More videos. Okay, videos definitely. He's relaunching, and actually he's already relaunched Blue Verified. So this is a subscription service. So when you see the little blue check marks next to somebody's name, which means they're a celebrity or somebody, these are going to be also subscribers too. So there's going to be a subscription. There's going to be different subscription levels. So that's something they're working out. So the edit button is going to be in a subscription level. So oh well, they may throw it out to everybody if enough people complain. Advertising is entertainment. So that you see that obviously a lot in YouTube, on Instagram. So this should be good. Advertising is how they make money, and the subscriptions on how they make money. So he's got to make Twitter profitable at some point. Right now, it's not. More advertising choices, paid advertising. Bigger subscription push, like I just mentioned, and authenticate real humans, eliminating bots. This has been a major problem ever since Twitter started, were the fake accounts and the bots in there. So that's one of the things he's fixing, and excellent. Facebook. Love you love I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. Okay, there's a lot of things that they do that I can't stand, that just irks me. But but it, again, you got almost 3 billion active users. You've got to respect Facebook. So you're going to see more posts recommended by artificial intelligence. So this is besides people that you follow or you're connected with, or businesses that you follow. You're going to be seeing a lot more posts recommended by artificial intelligence. More visibility to videos. Okay, digital avatars like this. Okay, so kind of sort of blending metaverse with Facebook to get more people to go to metaverse, right? If you're into that. Click to message ads. So you place an ad, and this would be, you click and they send you a message. Okay, now the problem with this is that if you set up this type of ad, those messages need to be responded to within a reasonable amount of time. All right, not 3 days later. Okay, that's not going to work. Share to Reels virtual reality option. Okay, so that's coming too. So I have a few. There's links on this page on. There's an article on how tips to take advantage of Facebook's updating of their feed with more visibility to videos and that kind of thing, to give you tips on that. So that's in the PDF. You're going to see that. Pinterest. Okay, so international expansion for Pinterest, refined search and discovery, improved buyable pins for merchants. So if you're in e-commerce and on Shopify, you can connect Pinterest directly to your e-commerce store, through Shopify. Improved, was it AR is alternate reality or VR capture display options. So artificial, it's to try on tools for home decor. So if you're a contractor or if you're a designer, then you can actually put in the dimensions of your living room that you want to redecorate, and then plug in stuff, which I think is really cool. I mean, that's something that a designer would do for you. Now Pinterest is going to have that available. And live stream shopping. Okay, so that's what's coming on Pinterest. Influencer marketing is still vital for B2B as well as B2C. This is where you find somebody with a lot of followers on a given network, or hire them as a spokesperson. You could get lucky and have an influencer that may love your product or service so much that they'll talk about it for free. Hey, I have an article on my website on influencer marketing. For B2B, the best place to network and find influencers is on LinkedIn. Okay, so blogging. Hey, so blogging should be a core part of your content strategy. 71% of bloggers agree that SEO is critical to getting more traffic. 51% of companies measure the success of their blog based on organic or non-paid traffic. 49% of bloggers say getting traffic is their biggest challenge. 42% say that search ranking is the most important metric. Only 27% of bloggers always research their keywords. What did I say? 37% of those say they get strong results when they're from their posts, when those who don't do keyword research get only 11%. Okay, so you want to increase, you got to do that keyword research. It only takes a few minutes. Once you get used to that, you find the tool that you like. And I have on my website, I have, if you search for keyword research, you're going to see a couple of articles on that. One's on the Google keyword research tool, and the other one on like 7 other keyword tools that are free to use. So you use whichever one you're used to. I'm used to Google Keywords tool because I've been grandfathered in, and it's just easy for me to just use it. 77% of marketers say that blogging brings results, and 56% of shoppers purchase something after reading a blog on an e-commerce site. So I can teach you how to blog effectively on WordPress. I'm offering a special for the month of December. Mention this webinar, save $25 on a one-on-one training session. If you book it, you have to book it by the end of this year. So it'll be just $50 an hour. And there's a link in the PDF to sign up for the 1 hour training. Okay, analytics. Very important. Okay, so going along with all this marketing, you want to track what's working and not working. Analytics aren't as scary as they may seem, and you don't need to hire an analyst or to understand them and get valuable information from them. So what are you trying to accomplish? Okay, so you want to determine your key metrics before you start. So again, what are you trying to accomplish? What are your goals? So you want to increase people to your website, increase conversion rate. That means, converting a visitor into a sale or a lead. Okay, what do you want to accomplish? So you want to increase the websites, conversions, and you want to have Google Analytics set up on your website. Now, Google Analytics is changing. So the traditional Google Analytics that those of you who've been using it before is going to go away in July of 2023 of this year, in just a few months. And so you've probably been seeing different messages from Google telling you that you need to set up your GA4 account. This is the Google Analytics 4 thing. Okay, now I can't figure it out, so I have to, get an expert, and I do have an expert, and he's going to be doing a special. So we're going to have a special guest presenter for January 12th. That's the second Thursday in January, just on Google Analytics and explaining, showing you how to set it up. So you can see. So why do you want Google Analytics? So you can track how many visitors visit to your website in a month or in any given time frame. You can just, if you want to look year over year, if you want to look at the last 6 months, you can last quarter or whatever, you can get that data in there. So both new and returning. Okay, because you want to attract new people, but you want returning customers too. Where they came from. Did they come from the Google search engine? Did they come from Bing? Did they come from social media? Did they come from Facebook? Where did they come from? How long did they stay? Okay, there's time frame in there. They were there for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. How many pages did they view while they were there? Okay, so this is also important. The longer they stay on your website, the more chances that they're going to do something. So where you rank, okay, this is Google Search Console as part of this. So it tells you where you are for certain keywords. And then your click-through rate. So let's say your rank, you had 100 impressions on one of your pages, but only 5 people click through. Okay, so that's a pretty lousy click-through rate. So usually what that is the title and the meta description wasn't enticing enough to have the readers click, or the searchers click through to your website. And then also your social media insights and demographics of your followers. All of the networks have one form of analytics or insights. So it's really important. They're part of their advertising programs, or you don't have, it's a free tool that you can use. And you must check all this at least once a month so you can judge which posts were effective, what isn't bringing you business, and doing what you expect, what's working and not working. Okay, get creative. Oh, by the way, I have a webinar on how to judge when something's not working and how to fix the problem. So you need to create and design an experience with eye-catching graphics and or videos incorporated with your marketing message and calls to action. So it all goes back to that user experience, from your social media to your website, to your emails, to your customer service. It's all part of your online image and visual language. And there are a lot of free tools out there that you can use. If you find you're not very creative, and not everyone is, it's a right brain, left brain thing, hire someone. Don't be afraid to admit that you can't do it all yourself. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. All in all, digital marketing in 2023 will be challenging. It's an ongoing process and you're in it for the long haul, but you can see the road is constantly changing. So you must be consistent and persistent. If you stop creating content, Google will forget you. So here is my forecasting. I wish I had a crystal ball to see what the future is going to bring, but it doesn't work that way. But unfortunately, what the last 3 years have taught us is that it's difficult to plan in an uncertain economy. It's scary, and you can have high hopes and then fall flat, and many times through no fault of your own. So what are you going to do? So here's my advice. Work with a business mentor. If you're in the US, every state has a Small Business Development Council. They offer free mentoring. They're business analysts, so and it's free. And there's other free free organizations out there where you can get free business mentoring and so forth. And that's I really recommend this because you're getting an objective view about your business, and they'll tell you like it is. They'll tell you the truth. Set SMART goals, not just for the full year, but month-to-month goals. Make sure your analytics are set up on your website and your social media platforms. Check your analytics at the end of each month to see what worked and didn't work. Okay, so you want to make goals for the full year, like how much money you want to make for the full year, but you're going to break it down into month to month because it's easier to handle that way, especially if the market goes berserk. Okay, so which is what happened in 2020. People were expecting it. People in December of 2019 were planning for a great year in 2020, and here we get the pandemic and everything went nuts. So the people that work month to month are more easily able to pivot when they get a problem, and these problems are going to come. So the idea is after you check your analytics, adjust your strategic and tactical plans accordingly, and keep up with business, industry, and marketing news. And again, be prepared to pivot. So I mentioned SMART goals. So again, what are your objectives? What do you want to accomplish? So you're going to want your sales goals for 2023. But then you're going to divide it by 12. So it says, okay, so here's my goals for January. So I need to have these many clients, new clients or new customers to meet this sales goal. Okay, so what's a conversion rate? So you got to do a little bit of research and find out what the conversion rate is for your industry. And so is it increased website visitors, lead generation, grow your email list, grow your social media following, write blog articles, an ebook, or record videos, or start a podcast. Okay, each goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So if you have a brand new website, you just redid it, and so you're going to want to shoot for maybe maybe 500 visitors in a month. Okay, so that means you're going to be actively posting, actively doing stuff. And so then at the end of the month, see how you did. If you met the goal, fantastic, keep doing what you're doing. If you didn't meet the goal, okay, where did you fall short? Okay, that video that I have tells you. Now, a conversion rate, usually between 2 and 5%, depending on the type of business. Okay, so that means if a certain number of people visited your website, how many people converted, did hit that call to action button, get on your email list, download the freebie, buy something or whatever. So again, that's the conversion rate. And again, each industry is different. Each type of business is different. Plan it out, write out both strategic and tactical plans, or you will be overwhelmed. The strategic plan is how you are going to accomplish the goal. So include data from your research. Based on your research, how often do you need to blog? How often will you record a video or podcast? Then the tactical plan is detailing how you're going to implement the strategy, basically your to-do list. So what are your people? What are you going to do when and where? Weigh your options. How much is your time worth? So if starting from scratch, it takes a lot of time up front in the first 3 months to get everything set up, content created. Once you determine by your research which networks and platforms and tools work best for you, get used to, and you get used to working with them, it will take you less time to do what you need to do. And you might want to outsource your content creation if you have a budget. Research your options. Make sure you get somebody who will create original content for you that will enhance your company's brand image, and that they're experts in your industry. If you hire someone, make sure they know marketing. Posting on social media is one thing. Anyone can do that. It's marketing on social media that takes creativity, knowledge, and some training. Now, I have an ebook that's available on Amazon Kindle, and it covers everything. It will help you put together your goal setting, hashtags, set up how to beat the competition, how to drive traffic to your website, what type of content to create, strategies for each network, and create your own customized strategic and tactical plans. And it's what you need to take your digital marketing to the next level. It will help you not be overwhelmed with what's coming ahead. Like, oh no, a new year, what am I going to do? Like, oh, how am I going to plan? I don't know where to start. That's the idea. So I'm offering a year-end special, $25 off my regular $75 an hour rate. So it's just $50. So book your session by December 31st. And you can schedule it for January if you need to, but it must be booked and paid for by the end of the year, held via Zoom. And again, there'll be a link there. Okay, we've got a few minutes for questions. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I also have some links and resources at the end here, which will be in the PDF. Okay, questions.
Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like it and subscribe to her channel. Then click on over to the AZ Social Media Wiz website to download the free Define Your Target Market Workbook, or schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation and review of your marketing efforts.